Okay, we are live. Okay, I'm audible, right? So,
Yes.
okay. So thank you all for joining us today. Hi everyone, and welcome to Naukri Learning's live session. And we will today we will be talking about building your career in search engine optimization as a beginner. So as we all know that the role of digital marketing has become even more significant as the world was forced to go online during and post the pandemic. And search engine optimization has become a lucrative career option with this development. In our talk today, we will be discussing on how to get started as an SEO professional. So the main focal points of this discussion would be on the introduction of SEO as a career and what is the industry scenario, the business impact of SEO, and what skills one must develop if you want to get into this profession and the career opportunities. So it's a great pleasure for me to welcome Mohammed Javed, our speaker for today, and he's currently the head of digital marketing at travelwings.com. Javed has 12 years of experience in digital marketing across industries like travel, e-commerce, real estate, and that too across international markets. Without any delay, let's just get started. But just before that, I would just request you all to be as interactive as possible, post your live questions on the chat so that we can address it after the presentation. So we are looking forward to your engagement, your questions, and because we are here to help you out. And so without any further delay, let's start. Over to you, Javed.
Thank you very much, Niharika. Hi, everyone. Very good evening. And thank you for joining the session. So as Niharika has said, I have total 12 years of experience in the field of SEO and digital marketing. And at this moment, I'm taking care of entire marketing department of travelwings.com, which is Dubai-based travel agency. And it's presence in 29 countries. So I'm heading its operations globally. So in this webinar, I'm just going to cover the complete SEO for complete details of SEO, where you will be learning what is SEO and why we should aim for a career in the field of SEO. Yeah. So I'll be covering 5 aspects into the overall discussion. So first one would be digital landscape of the world. So especially post-COVID scenarios, there are a lot of changes happening all around the world. So entire behavior of the users of the audiences around the world is getting changed. They are moving out to digital. So at this moment, the digital industry is going through its peak time, and everyone is trying to get into a digital space from where they can tap or they can approach multiple countries, multiple segments without being present into that location. Next pointer will be what is SEO and its benefit. So I'll be explaining details about SEO, what is SEO, and what is the benefit across all the channels. The next one would be how it works and types of SEO. So the complete operations of SEO, and I'll be explaining here, and what kind of SEO types are there, which helps a website to rank better in search engine rankings. Then the next topic would be a business impact of SEO, where I'll be discussing about how SEO is helping to grow, or how SEO is contributing in the growth of a business. And then on later stage, I'll be discussing about SEO as a career, how you will pursue, what kind of skill set required to start your career into SEO. So if we'll start from digital landscape of the world, so if we'll see year on year, there are significant growth of internet users, mobile phone users across the world. So if you'll see, if you'll compare from last year to this year trend, so for mobile users, it increased by 1.8%, and internet users, it grew by 7.3%. It's huge in terms of numbers. If you talk about, specific to India country, so initially it was between 7 to 10%, but after the pandemic, the internet users, the mobile phone users, and the digital landscape has been increased to more than 40 to 45% in Indian country. So which is really a significant number where anyone can try to tap. So it's a huge market. There are huge business opportunities out there in the online space. So it's growing day by day. So what is SEO? So SEO basically it's a search engine optimization. So it's a tactic where we create our web page, we optimize our web page to which is getting signified by search engine robots, and then it appears in Google search results. So basically, this is a highly data-driven methodology of strategies and tactics used to increase amount of visitor to a website organically, and there is a cost associated with that cost in terms of technology, in terms of content creation, in terms of managing website, but there is not any direct cost to drive those traffic to the website. It's purely organic. So how it works? So basically there are multiple search engines are there in the market. So the highest market share of Google, which is covering more than 98% market share in India, and globally, if you will talk, it's more than 97% covering coverage across the world. And the remaining out of remaining 3%, 2% is around Bing, and remaining is local websites. So they have their robots. So there is a process when a website appears in search engines. It starts from crawling. Crawling means whenever any Google or any search engine bots read your page, read the entire element, everything of the page. That process is getting that process is called as crawling. After that, if they find that there is significant and standard practice is getting followed, then the page is getting indexed. Indexing basically means they store that web page into their databases, into their data sets, and then on the basis of that they display that search into the result. So from fetching from their databases. So it's a complete process. It's a 360 process where it starts from technology, where you have to create your website with a very user friendly or high performance. If you talk about high performance, that means it should be highly interactive. Its loading time should be much higher, within 2 seconds. So it starts from there, and then you create content purely on the basis of keywords. If you talk about keywords, it's a search terms which you just search in Google or any other search engines. So after that, it's complete optimization process gets started. Optimization process covers a lot of things, which I will be covering into next slides. Yeah, so there are two types of SEO at this moment, but the first one is on-page optimization, that is being divided into two parts. One is technology, second one is content. So when you talk about on-page optimization, it starts from keyword research. So if you are creating any website and want to rank for any specific set of keywords, so you have to start from keyword research, and then you have to do competitive analysis, where you can see what kind of competitors are there, present existing competitors are there on those keywords, and then on the basis of that you decide what categories or what kind of pages you are going to create to cater the requirement of those kind of searches. So then next thing is URL structure. That is really important part of SEO, URL structure. So URL structure is basically you create directory, subdirectory. So it's called a tree structure where it starts from main domain, then it lands to a child page where in the middle there is a parent directories are connected. So it should be static. There shouldn't be any dynamic parameter to the URL, which is really important. It shouldn't contain any hyphen or any spaces into that URL. So it usually the best practice is to separate the names into URL by using dashes. And third one is navigation structure. So navigation structures simply says when anyone or any robot comes to your website, then they will be able to navigate across the websites. If they start from home page, they can route to directories, they can route to internal pages, and so on. So the complete structure should be purely all entire pages should be connected from header, from feed to footer, from internal linking, from any images or anything. So any kind of connectivity, internal connectivity comes under navigation structure. Then the load time and performance. So it's really very important. It's really very important for any website, and it's purely driven by technology. So it includes server, it includes image sizes, it includes codings. So the entire thing. So load time should not exceed it. It's a standard practice to keep as lesser as possible, but maximum we should uh, consider the maximum 3 to 5 seconds, and above than that it is called poor performance in load time. Then static content. Static content is called SEO content as well. So there is two aspects of content. One is you are creating content, you are creating widgets to connect other services, or basically to cross connect other with different directories. That is one thing. But SEO content is purely written purely textual format, which should be based on, which should be created on focused keyword of each specific pages. So it should cover exact keyword, like if you are creating any content basis of SEO, so you can just cover complete search engine optimization in one go. Otherwise, if you are creating any service related things of SEO, so you can cover search engine optimization services altogether, or you can cover SEO at one place, services another place that search engine considers, and that is being counted as keywords, and that is being counted into that is accountable for higher ranking in Google or any other search engine. Heading tags. So there are several heading tags which can be used on every website. So ideally, there is a recommendation from search engine perspective, which is if you can use one H1 tag. You can use multiple H2 tag, but only one H1 tag, which should be focused, which should be purely focused on your primary keyword of a page. Then internal linking. So internal linking again, the part of navigation, but here I'm talking about the internal linking in the content. So if you are creating any content for any page, and if you are covering any other services into same content, then you can connect the service page to the hyperlink service page to that link, that keyword. So that is basically interlinking, which is really helpful for crawling and indexing process, and it helps into get higher or better ranking. Crawlability. So this is really very important. So whenever you create a page, so there is a several aspects, there are several elements associated with that page. It starts from header, then it goes to body, under body. There are the multiple containers, there are images, there are text, there are widgets, which and there are footer also. So entire thing of the page should be crawlable. Otherwise, if it's not, then it will harm your SEO ranking, and it will not perform very well in search engine rankings. So crawlability is really important, and it's connected. It's directly connected to technology side, where developers and designers can create or can work on that part to make the entire thing visible to robots. Mobile friendliness. So at this moment, since the mobile users are increasing day by day and internet penetration are increasing as well, so every search engine prefer to see the mobile version of the website first, and then on the basis of that they decide the entire ranking. So 3 to 4 years back, it was being decided, the complete ranking was being decided from the on the basis of desktop device. But at this moment, if you talk about traffic, overall traffic, so more than 75 to 80% traffic comes from mobile devices only. So the complete priority has been changed, and every search engine started considering mobile version as a main website, and on the basis of that they create or they give priority to the website into their search result pages. So optimize images. So it's really important when you create any website, you use a lucrative image on website to increase the engagement or increase the visibility on the website. So on that purpose, usually one mistake we do usually, that is we use higher size of images on the website to increase its quality or to maintain its quality. That harms the overall website performance. That takes time to load, and then the load comes to robots, and they consider that if website performance is not up to the mark. So optimized images means images should be optimized, whether we can use lazy loading technology to reduce their load time, or we can use lesser size of images instead of uploading higher size of images. So less than 100 KB works perfectly on this front. Alt text. So alt text basically is alternate text. So since robots cannot read the content written on an image, so they don't understand what the image is. So for that purpose, we use alt text to make them understand that this image is connected to this word or this specific word. So that helps to appear in Google image search as well. Schema is also really an important factor, where it gives an additional details, additional information to Google. So when you will search on Google anything, let's say if you are searching for any product on Amazon or on Google for Amazon, you will see that there is a certain star rating appears, that there's a price appears, there's a review appears in the Google, other than titles and description. So that comes from a schema. So that is really important aspect to drive higher number of clicks to your website. There are more aspects which needs to be taken care in terms of on-page optimization. Like websites should be functional, websites should be available 24/7. There shouldn't be any 404 error onto the website, and that should be fixed time to time. So all those factors are there. Now, if I talk about off-page optimization, so it's also a part of SEO. It's a technique of SEO, but it's a bit different than what I discussed for on-page. So there is a tool, Search Console tool. So it's on Google. It's of Google, and it's for Bing as well. So you can set up that. It's give you complete technical errors, technical aspects, website crawlability, and everything. So for that, you have to add your website into Search Console, and from there you have to add a code to your website to start the tracking. and then they will keep telling you that you are getting this much of errors on those kind of pages. So whatever the error should be there, this will help you to understand the complete performance of the website in terms of accessibility by bots. Google Analytics setup. So it's an important tool. It's by Google, and it comes into free and paid version both. But usually a smaller site uses free version, and it gives a detailed insight about the traffic which you are getting on the website. So it helps you to understand the trend of your traffic, understand the intent of the traffic, understand the overall journey of a traffic, from where they are landing, from there where they are exiting, how many times they are spending on the website. All this information, this gives you the complete insight to understand the performance. Then sitemap it's an important important aspect for robots. So you create XML file where you mention that you have a certain number of web pages which is present on your website. So, and you submit it into Search Console. So instead of it helps to increase the crawlability, it helps to increase the accessibility of those pages by bots, by search engine bots, and the easily accessible web pages can be indexed easily, and then it can rank higher into search result pages. Competitors backlink profiles. So there is a term backlinks. So backlinks is basically a term which shows that from which website you are getting referred, and that helps to increase your credibility into search engines. So from starting, or when you are starting to build a link, you have to do competitor analysis, that from where they are getting the link, what kind of link they are getting, is that any paid or any organic link they are. So, and what kind of accessibility they are getting from there, is that do follow or no follow link from there. So all those kinds of analysis you can do by using various tools, which I'll be mentioning into next slides. So you can use all those things, and then on the basis of that you can decide what kind of link you are going to create for your website to get higher ranking. Next one is link building. So link building is basically backlinking is the part of link building. So under this there are several aspects which can be considered. One is outreach. So outreach is basically you decide that what kind of content you are going to publish, and on the basis of your targeted keywords, and on that basis you can you can find out blogs, you can find out websites who publish similar kind of articles from with higher domain authority. So you can approach them, you can request them that we have this decent quality and quantity of articles, so you can publish. So it happens into both way. It happens into organic, it happens into paid. So if someone is in many cases people use link exchange as well. So if you will request them to publish your article on their website, they will also tell that in return you can publish my article onto your website. So vice versa. So it works into that manners also. Local citations. So it's basically it's helpful for those kind of websites which is physically present in any location. So especially after the Google updates, Google started showing those results first, which is locally presented in any respective to any area. So let's say you are sitting in New Delhi, you are sitting in South Delhi, and you are searching for any services. It will show you the result of those areas first, other than showing you result of North Delhi or any other areas of Delhi. So it's really an important if your business is physically present in any location. Then the guest blogging. So guest blogging also a type of outreach where you request any blogger to publish your content on their website on their behalf, and linking back to you on your desired keywords, and it should be a do follow link. So in that case, you will get better ranking on those kind of keywords. So social sharing. So at this moment, if you talk about social media presence or social media users, it's increasing drastically. It's increasing day by day. So if you have created pages on your social media handles like Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, so you can publish your articles, you can share your pages out there along with a decent creative, along with a video, you can say video or carousel that works really very well in social media at this moment, and getting driving higher number of engagements from there. So you can drive traffic to your website, and those traffic will give you a better those traffic will help to gain better ranking in SEO as well, because you will be getting hits on those pages from that source. Now, if you talk about tools, there are various tools, free and paid, available in the market. So, if as I as I said in my previous slide, that Google Analytics tool is there to showcase the complete traffic of your own website. Google Webmaster Tool or Search Console is there to take care of the entire technical bit of the website. But other than that, you have a lot of tools like Href, Majestic, Moz, SEMrush. These kind of tools will give you a complete details of yourself as well as your competitors. So if you are trying to start a website or trying to create certain element or certain category on your website, first you have to do the analysis of the keywords. First you have to decide what kind of pages and how many pages you are going to create to cater the requirement of those kind of systems. So in that case, you have to use any tool which gives much insight. So you have to decide what kind of competitors are there. At least 5 competitors you should consider before going ahead with the final creation of the pages. And on the basis of that, you can see what kind of traffic they are getting, what kind of keywords they are covering, and then that will help you to that will help you to go into the right direction. So there are various tools. Free version is also available with limited accessibility. Other than that, there are paid tools available in the market. Yeah. So now I'll talk about the business impact of SEO, how it helps to increase the revenue of any business, increase the credibility and the trust of a business. So I'll start from first cost-effective channels. It's one of the best and most cost-effective channel, SEO. So other than this, you can do social media, you can do Google ads, you can do third-party ads, affiliates, and a lot of offline activities are there also. But every marketing activity, that there is a cost associated with that. There is a direct cost associated with that, and there is not any long-term benefit of that particular activity. For SEO, of course, there is indirect cost. There is a cost of technology. There is a cost of content. There is a cost of backlinking, or there is a cost of resource who are working on SEO front day and night. Since SEO is a continuous process, so you cannot start, and once you appear in top 5, you cannot stop working on that front. Otherwise, you will thrown away from SRP. So it's a continuous process. So there are indirect expenses or cost associated with that, but it gives you benefit in long run. So once you are appearing in top 5, you will start getting recurring traffic on your website with higher intent. So Higher intent, if you talk about higher intent, it means people are searching on Google or any other search engine for any services whichever they required or whichever they are in need. So in that case, if they are scrolling to Google, they are visiting to our website, the conversion chances are really higher other than social media, where you are throwing your services or you are throwing over your products out there while people are scrolling their profile. So in this case, you will get higher conversions. It varies market to market. It varies services to services. It varies product to product. But still, it's a better than any other channel. Trust and credibility. So once you started appearing in Google SRP, Google Search Results page, people when people will search for that specific keyword and you are visible out there, they will consider, and it's getting considered that you are a trusted website or you are a trusted resource for their requirement. So that helps you to gain recurring traffic, recurring business from that specific user. So that helps you to increase the customer lifetime value. So if I mentioned this fifth point, which is better CLTV, so that helps to increase customer lifetime value, which is recurring business. It will drive to your organization. It's a long-term sustainability. So when it once it started appearing, it will start giving you traffic and business on regular basis. So you have to only you have to retain that ranking spot or improve from there by putting continuous effort on SEO aspects. So this helps to increase the overall revenue of any business. Yeah, the most important part now, it's why to choose SEO as your career. So I'll be highlighting a couple of pointers here, which is really helpful to which is really helpful to understand why you should start your career into SEO. So it's basically there's not any specific set of a specific set of one. Yeah, so there's not really a specific set of qualifications required to be a SEO or SEO executive. You can start learning from your own, or you can start browsing SEO related articles or SEO related courses available on the Naukri Learning website as well. So you can start learning from there on your own. All you have to do is you have to be very analytical. Your written communication should be stronger, which will help you to understand the complete flow of SEO, and basic knowledge of HTML, basic knowledge of website building, databases, technology, coding language. All these should be there. Other than this, basic language of search engine algorithms, its functions, how SEO works, how what kind of trends, what kind of updates are there, and all these things should be there into your mind before starting your career into SEO. And it's really important to understand, or it's really very important to become to think on that line, to think on internet. So all you need to be internet savvy, and all these materials are available from where you can learn. So there are not any specific set of certification also required to become an SEO expert. So it's too easy to go to start the SEO, and and to become to grow further in your career. by working on the path of SEO. So if we talk about salary trend in SEO, so it may start from zero. So if you are a trainee, so a couple of companies who don't pay, but many more companies who start paying from 10,000 to 15,000 in a month, or 20,000 in certain cases in a month. So you start from training, then become SEO analyst, then become SEO specialist, then get to SEO lead, and then manager, and then business head. So it starts from one aspect, that is SEO training, and it ended up to a product management, complete product management, where you can define a product, what kind of product, what kind of functionality, what kind of things you want to add to increase its accessibility, and how you can increase user behavior or user engagement on that pages. The entire things comes under an SEO manager only, who takes care of complete funnel or complete journey of a user from landing to exit. So this is not only optimization part, but it's directly connected to the business part as well, connected to the product part as well. So you can start career from training, career start learning from basic things, and then you will be landed in next 10 years, you will landed to a business head, where the salary grows to 500,000 even per month. Yeah, so it's all about basic SEO. Now I request Niharika to share any questions and answer questions which from our participants. So I'll be happy to help.
Yeah, actually, there are a couple of questions that we have. So the first question, as a fresher, what is like the starting salary of SEO, of SEO professionals?
So to address this, as I said in my previous slide, so it start from 10,000. It vary company to company. So if you are joining any company as a trainee, so if that is a good company, you will be getting at least 15,000 in a month. But in very worst case scenarios, companies put a trainee on zero remuneration for 3 months at least, and then start their salary and all. So you can say it starts from zero, but it increases gradually. So in next 3 months, you will reach to 10 to 15,000, and then in the next 6 months or next 8 months, you will be increasing to more than 20,000. So it grows, it's growing, and especially after this COVID scenario. So since demand is there, so it increases by the entire salary trend of SEO or digital marketer is increased by 200% at this moment. So it's growing rapidly. Yeah.
And the next question that I think would be on a lot of people's mind is, do you need to know coding to get into this field?
So it's not required to know coding, but you should have understanding as you go. So you can start from zero coding, but you have to learn. So you have to understand how search engine bots behave, and how they read or how they consider the complete website for their ranking algorithm. So you must require the understanding of trending languages, whatever that is. So if we talk about at this moment, since a lot of website is getting created in React, Node, Angular, JavaScript, Python, and other new technologies are getting discovered, and that is hitting the market. So that understanding you should be there. Otherwise, you will be ending up, the making the complete website into the worst situation.
And one more question which was asked is, please tell the scope of SEO in future. So basically, I think people want to know that what is the scope of SEO going forward in future, so to say.
So it will remain forever. So if we talk about any business, so especially in these 2 years taught us too many lessons in terms of and livelihoods, or in terms of lifestyles. It changed the entire world. It changed the entire industry. So previously, what used to happen is only if you talk about holistic, or if you talk about worldwide view, so only 10% businesses were online, remaining were offline driven. But at this moment, since the complete offline is shut down because of the pandemic, so people are going online. They are creating their digital spaces, and they are trying to get into those space. So it will remain forever. And since SEO is a never-ending process, so it is going to remain always, and there is a good career into it. Yeah.
And so there were actually a lot of questions that we also got when during the registration process. There were people who submitted their questions, and some of the common ones that were there, it was like one commonly asked question was, how can you like start from scratch as a beginner? I think you've already thrown light on this, but is there anything else you would want to add on about this point?
Yeah, so I will add only one thing. You have to be internet savvy. You have to be very spectacular about your thoughts, about your analytic mindset. And then once you have all these things, then you can do whatever you can do in whatever you want to do into this field. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's really since entire material is online available, and if you talk about basic informations, updates, there are several websites like Moz.com or semrush.com or a search engine roundtable, search engine land.com. So these websites gives you keep you posted with the latest updates, latest trends in SEO. So you have to get into all those. So there's not any other. It's not mandatory that you have to do any certain course to start SEO. It's not mandatory, but if you are doing that, that's really good.
Okay. And so there are some more questions that we have. Any top companies, or someone has asked that any recommended companies that people can apply to as trainees, like, as someone who's just beginning.
So every category, basically every product line having the on companies. So there's a huge list of companies which is there in India and globally as well. So I would not prefer to say any name of the company, but I would rather suggest to look out product based company instead of going to agency. So you will get a better understanding of any of that specific product, how it's going into market, and what kind of approach they are taking to drive organic traffic to their website. So product based companies you should prefer.
And there was one other question that I came across while sifting through the questions during registration, is that is digital marketing a good option after BTech? Because a lot of tech people sometimes want to switch into SEO or digital marketing. So is it like a viable option after that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really very good option after BTech. So since you have completed your technology graduation and you have learning knowledge of coding as well, so you will be a good SEO expert in an year or two maximum. So you have a basic understanding of entire core thing whichever is required for SEO. So it's good if you are BTech and you are not interested in writing codes, you can always switch to digital marketing. It's really awesome.
Okay. And okay, someone has asked, what skills should one have to start a career in SEO? I think you have already covered this, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And what is the starting salary for digital marketing careers? This also more or less you have already covered in perspective of SEO. Like if you would want to add anything on the digital marketing perspective, then you can go ahead. Otherwise, we can skip.
No, so if you talk about digital marketing, it's not, there's not any certain category of digital marketing. So there are
Hmm.
several aspects connected to it. SEO is one part of digital marketing. then the paid marketing, PPC campaign, social media marketing, paid social media paid marketing is there, then the affiliate. So all these things are part of digital marketing. So if you started from one, if you started from SEO, then you will start or learning gradually on other things as well. You will start getting into paid campaigns on Google, paid campaigns on social media, then media buying. So then you will start expanding yourself, and in the next 7 to 8 year or 10 years probably you will be the head of the entire department, and you will be a real digital marketer. So it's not from day one, but you have to start from somewhere. So and that is SEO is a good part from start your career.
Right. Okay. A lot of people want to know, they have joined late. So yes, you, for the summary of the webinar, I mean, you don't need the summary. The entire video will be available on Naukri Learning's YouTube channel. You can, if you've missed out on the initial part, you can definitely go there and sort of watch the entire video. And then there is a question: after completing Google Analytics course, how should one approach to advance in your SEO career? How much digital marketing understanding is necessary to maximize your SEO base? So basically, how much of digital marketing knowledge you should have to advance in SEO?
So extensive knowledge of analytics always helps to in SEO. So because as I said in my previous slides where I was discussing about tools, so Google Analytics gives you the entire insights. So from entry to exit. So whatever a user is doing on a website, you will get the complete insight from there. How many time they are spending, what kind of bounce rates you are getting. So from there, you will be able to set your complete goal, what you have to do, where you have to focus, what kind of pages you have to target to increase their ranking to gain higher traffic. And then you will be able to understand if people are dropping from any certain page, then you will be getting into that to understand why they are dropping. There are certain elements which is not functional or which is not and appropriate for that page or not relevant for that page. In that case you can remove that or you can update that to increase the engagement, and that really helps to increase the business. So it's directly connected to the advanced SEO.
So I think we have already we've crossed 45 minutes. So I think we would not be able to take any more questions. But thank you so much, Javed. It was a really nice and very well structured webinar. And also thank you all of those who participated and who posted in their questions. We hope that this helped, and do subscribe to Naukri Learning and you will get more such content. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Niharika, for hosting such a wonderful webinar. And
Yeah.
I'm thankful to everyone who joined here. And have a pleasant evening ahead. Have a restful evening ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.